People are buying XCN right now. Yes, literally right now, people are buying XCN. So let's talk about why that is. Hey guys, Foxy's Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys. And today we're talking about Onyx coin. So I am not lying, 81% volume in the last 24 hours. People are buying. I always say this, when price is in no man's land and when price is in an area where people are not interested, volume is not at 80%. But there are things in the market that are happening which makes sense why people are buying. We're going to break that down very shortly, right? Down still on the week, up 86% bullish on the community sentiment, and obviously still waiting for a few major listings. So looking at TradingView, looking at the market, what did I want happening? Well, I drew out that we are in this imbalance in price right now, right? Okay, so we are still in it. We got the liquidity sweep and we pushed further down. The first step is complete and it aligns with us being in the fair value gap. Now, the only thing I don't like is how big this fair value gap is, right? So it gives you a lot of room for change, right? There's a lot of correction that could be filled in this fair value gap. So why are people buying up right now? Why is it at 88% compared to other days when it's at 2-3%? And my reasoning is that Bitcoin has now swept liquidity. It's in the fair value gap and it's going to start giving us a bullish reversal pattern, right? Even myself right now, I am in a Bitcoin trade. I bought Bitcoin right over here because simply I saw a fair value gap form after liquidity has been swept in a very strong zone. And what happened? Well, we tested the area, broke above. So I said, okay, when it breaks above, I'm entering, right? That's very simple. And that's what you guys need to be looking at for XCN also. That is how you trade. Now, obviously investments and all of that are a little bit different, but that is the general rule of thumb. So let's break it down a little bit more. I'm going to get rid of all of these. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and I'm going to hide this and I'm going to hide this for you guys so it is much more clear. Okay. So let's break it down, right? Top to bottom. We are still in a bearish trend. I think that is no surprise. We have a higher low over there, a lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, or lower high, I should say. And we are trending to the downside, right? So we have lower highs followed by lower lows. That is a very basic bearish trend. Now, what do we need to see for a reversal? Higher highs being formed, right? And ideally more than just one, because sometimes one higher high will be formed and people will be like, oh, this is my time to enter. And then they'll be faked out. Okay. So even on the daily, you can see, right, there is, you can even see, right, that channel. There's a channel. Apparently a lot of people like using these channels. You can see the channel to the downside trend, right? Step ladder to the downside, very easy to spot out. So what do we need to do on the daily for us to start reversing? Well, we're in a good area. Don't forget the fair value gap, which is an imbalance in price. We are near liquidity swept. So what I would want to see now, there is a few zones right away that I am looking at. The first one being this one. Why? Because we made the imbalance and then we retested it and said, no, I'm pushing to the downside. I'm not ready to go above it yet, right? So using that knowledge makes me believe this rectangle is a strong area where price most likely will come up and it'll test it and then it'll see, does it want to break above or does it want to break below? Okay. So for anybody that is day trading XCN or they want to invest, if you want to invest and be a little bit more confident in that investment of yours, I would wait for price to close above this zone, right? And then you can possibly say, okay, it closed above, my time is now, or maybe I want to wait till it retests this area. That is fine also. So our first step in getting to there is obviously closing above this high right over here. Okay. So price could look something like this. Excuse me. We close above the high. We break down a little bit, test this area, close above it, and then push to the upside, removing all of this right over here, this junk, and then just boom, pushing to the upside. Now, when that happens, we obviously will look further of where I see price headed. But to be honest, if you look from here to here, pretty much this entire zone, there really is not much that's going to hold XCN back. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market is green and it's not manipulated, that we literally just have a very strong push to the upside because there's not much resistance here. Now, once we get to this accumulation of volume, things could change a little bit, okay? So I hope everybody's following so far. We know what we are looking out for, okay? And maybe somebody will say, well, Foxy, I see an imbalance in price right over here. You are absolutely correct, right? You're absolutely correct. And price can most definitely get here and maybe retest before, but I do not see this being a strong zone because we have not tested it, right? A lot of the times when price doesn't test an area, it is not a strong zone. Let's have a look for that in the market so I can show you what I mean. See, okay. Well, this is different a little bit, but retest. Look how many times it tested it here, right? 4 days in a row. You know it's closing below. You know it's going to the downside because there's not enough buying pressure here for it to go up. Sorry, I'm trying to find it very quickly for you guys. An area that has not been tested, that just broke through. That was tested. Wow, the more I look at XCN, the price looks like everything is getting tested at least once. Like, look, test, and then eventually breaks below it. So it's kind of hard to spot an area really. Like this area, kind of, just to give you an example. We make the fair value gap, we test it, but we close inside of it, right? So then you are starting to think, okay, this is a little bit sketchy. Why are we closing below? And then eventually, right, we do close below. And then when we close below, interesting enough, we do test it for 2 days before pushing to the downside. So I hope you guys really notice that these zones are everywhere, right? I just marked up random zones in this chart and price has tested it before making a continuation. These zones are not random. They are important zones, okay? So keep an eye out for that. What else can we look at? RSI oversold, another indication that we could be starting a reversal soon. So really all things are headed, I would hope, in a good direction. Now, there is possibility of further downside. Obviously, there always will be. We have to adapt to the market and see what it is giving us. If it's giving us higher highs and closures above this zone, that's what we can expect, a bullish run, okay? So that is the game plan on the charts. You guys know what to be looking out for. You guys know my view on it. And now I guess we wait. We patiently wait. We see what's happening in the market, and I'll be updating you guys next week. We'll see how it plays out, how the weekly candle closes, all of that good stuff. And let's hope for some upside potential, right? Because that's what everybody wants to see. Now, for everybody that is still here, thank you very much. Very quick question for you guys. Do you guys like the Fox mascot, or do you find it weird? Because I've had a few comments saying, I can't believe I'm taking my advice from a fox. Guys, it's just a mascot. I thought it was going to be a cool little fun idea to do. I didn't realize that people were going to be taking it out of context, being like, oh, he's scared to show his face, or how can I trust this, or da-da-da-da-da. Like, if you guys don't like the fox, I can remove the fox, show my face. That is not a problem, right? I just thought it was going to be a cool little fun way of showing crypto the way nobody else has, because when I was scrolling through, starting my journey, I was like, okay, well, there's people with faces and people with no faces. Can I be different and do an animal? I thought it would be cool. So let me know in the comments. Really, really let me know. Make sure you guys leave a like, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It really does. Make sure you guys do your own research because I'm not a financial advisor. And I'll see everybody in the next video.